Good morning, students. A very warm welcome to all of you who have joined us today for the communication skills classes on email writing. Please respond through the question pane if you all can hear me clearly. Good morning, Om, Ritesh, Shraddha, Archita, Kunal, Ashok. Thank you so much for responding, Aditya. I hope I'm loud and clear to everybody. Let me just show you my screen so that you can confirm about it as well. Today we are going to have an interesting session on email writing, right? I have got a lot of activities also for the session today. Right, so I hope you all can see my screen. Is the presentation visible to everybody? Students, please respond. All of you, please send me alphabet Y if you all can see the screen. Please send me alphabet Y. I want each one of you to participate in the class, then only you will get the benefit of these classes. If you will not respond to my questions, then probably you'll not enjoy my sessions also, isn't it? Right. So let's quickly start the session because I have a lot of things to do with you today, right? So students, make one thing very, very clear that the session is of extreme importance for all of you. Reason: email writing has become an integral part of our communication. Whether you talk about formal or informal communication, it is very, very important, right? So let us quickly start, understand, and master the art of email writing, right? So I hope that you all are aware that communication is broadly divided into two parts: written communication and oral communication. Under written communication, we have various types like email writing, notice, letters, memos, right? So this email is a part of the written verbal communication, right? So before I could really start about how to write an email, there's a very important concept that is called as email etiquette. Okay, right? So what is email etiquette? Please read the slide and send me your understanding of what do you think. Right? So email etiquette is basically etiquette that governs your communication on the internet. Email etiquette also talks about how to communicate appropriately and respectfully through an online medium, right? Prior to pandemic, probably, things would have been different, but pandemic has changed the way we all, are engaged in various activities, whether you talk about education or you talk about official work and everything. So in such a virtual environment where things have changed drastically and we all are working in our own zone and domain through this virtual mode, communication through SMS, communication through WhatsApp, and formal communication through emails has overpassed all the boundaries. So it is very important for us to have good email communication skills because it is essential even if you want to succeed in your college and on the job, right? I'm sure that as a part of your college assignments also, many a times you have to write emails maybe to your friends, to your faculty, to your HODs, right? And let's say you will be applying for different jobs, you need to communicate with the employers through emails. And this email helps you also in, you know, having a good impression on the person with whom you are communicating. Make it more likely that you will get the response that you want, right? So it is very, very essential if you want to get the desired response. Why are we trying to master communication skills? So that we develop the ability of eliciting the desired response from the person with whom we are communicating. Clear? So whenever we enter into negotiation, whenever we go for any, whenever we appear for any interview or anything, what do we want? We want to get selected, and that is the desired response. Nobody goes for the interview to, face a negative result, right? So what we understand by effective communication skills is to elicit the desired response from the receiver. So students, please do understand that email can be a quick and efficient way to communicate when it is used properly. Please do understand, it is very important for you to make use of this effective tool in a very, very efficient manner. Let us have a look at this video to understand or to set the background for the class. Right. So I hope that the stage is all set for us to understand that what is the importance of email etiquette and what are the things that we are going to keep in our mind whenever we are going to write a formal email particularly, right? Now let's start understanding that what is a basic email letter format, right? I'm sure that we all have seen the body, or we all have been at one point or other must have sent an email. So this class or these slides probably are going to act as refreshers for the same. We will be discussing some of the sample formats also for email writing. And in the next class, that is coming Sunday, we will be discussing about do's and don'ts, right? I will also give you an assignment towards the end of the class that you can share with me on my email to get an individual feedback also, right? So a basic email letter format consists of, the very first thing is subject line. And students, please believe and write the subject line very, very, very carefully, because this subject line is going to decide whether the other person is going to read your email or not, right? So the subject line has to be very impressive and should convey the summary of the message very clearly. When you are going to start the email, you are going to start with the greetings. Then comes the main body or the content of the email. Try to keep it brief, but include everything that is necessary, right? Don't just write an email in 2 lines without having the required details and then come up to me and say that, ma'am, you only said that an email has to be brief. An email has to be brief, but that does not mean that you are going to cut down on the essential parts. Always close your email with a signature, right? Just now also you have seen in the video that the signature includes your name, your designation, the name of the organization, and your contact details. Contact details means your mobile number, your or your landline number, right? The email is already there. If you have any alternate email, you can write that as well. Clear? Then an email banner, right? So that email banner is located underneath the email signature. Clear? This is how it appears. I'm sure that all of us are familiar, but still, right? So here, as you can see, two. What is the two? What are we going to write here? Right? So the two includes the email ID. Email ID of, yes, students, come on. I need your responses. What are you going to write in parts of email? Whose email ID? Okay. Official persons whom we are sending. Very good. Receiver's email. Mail ID of other person with whom we are communicating. Receiver of the email. Sender mail ID. Two is the person whom we are sending this email. Very good. So this is called as, the two line is the address of the person who will be receiving the message. Please ensure that you are writing the correct email ID, otherwise your mail will get bounced, right? Then the next thing is the attachment. So what are the attachments? Attachments are those files that you want to add to your email. You can attach documents, pictures, videos, and even a game. A lot of times, students, I have seen that informal business emails also, people do mention about the attachment, but they forget to attach it, right? So ensure that before you send your email, please cross check that whether it contains any attachment, or if there is any attachment, have you done it in the right manner? Have you attached the correct file, right? Don't just be in a haste to send the email, right? Then another important thing, as we were discussing also, is the subject line. So the subject line tells you what the message is about. As you can see here, the subject line says absent from computer class, right? So this is clearly speaking that what the email content is all about. And this white box that you see over here, this white box is the message box. This is where you type your letter. This is called as message box. It can be as long as you like, right? But do follow the protocols that we have discussed so far. Write brief, precise, and to the point. Clear? Any questions so far, students, in parts of an email? Anything that you are not clear with, or you want me to discuss about the same? I'll just take a pause for a minute. And any questions? If no questions, send me number 2. If no questions, send me number 2 so that I can proceed. I want each one of you to respond. Okay. So beta CC I will take up in the next slide. CC is carbon copy. I'll tell you about it. Signature format also is coming up in the next slide, Hemant. Yes, but normally, for formal emails, the signature format is your name, your designation, the name of the organization, and your contact number. Okay, right. So I got 2 unanimously. Let's move ahead with the next slide. Right. Now let's talk about the different types of email depending upon the content or the purpose for which you are writing. So the first type is no reply email. As the name itself clearly suggests, whenever you are writing any email for information purpose only, right? That means you are not expecting any response or any reply from the person who is receiving the message. Let's say you are sending a birthday card or you are sending just some information, you're keeping somebody in CC. So that is a no reply email where no reply is necessary. That is the first type. Then the second type is the inquiry email. As the name itself suggests, you need something from the receiver in a reply, right? For example, you are asking a question and you want the other person or the receiver of the message to respond to that email, right? That is called as inquiry email. Then the third one is open-ended email. So open-ended email means when you want to keep the communication lines open, right? That means you are writing something and you're expecting a response back from the other purpose. So from the other person, so that you can have more discussions on the same for some future result or benefit. That is called as open-ended email. And last but not the least is action email. Action email where the goal is not to get a reply from the receiver of the message, but you want the receiver of the message to take some action on the part, on his or her part, right? For example, a sales pitch, or when you are writing to somebody for a website link exchange. So what are you expecting? You are expecting an action from the person who is reading your email. So in these kind of emails, in action emails, it is your responsibility to give it a very strong ending with a call for action, which is very, very clear, right? The receiver should be able to interpret the message correctly, that what do you expect from him, right? So these are the 4 types of email. Now, there are 5 main things as we have also discussed earlier, but this is just a quick brush up for the same. So the very first thing that is to and from. Don't forget to write to who and from whom, right? And write in email address format. Please cross check whether that email address is proper or not. Otherwise, unnecessarily you'll face problems. Then what are you going to write in a subject? The subject has to be a brief summary of your message. Then third thing that you're going to write is, of course, salutation. So if it's a formal email, you will write, Dear Mr. So and so. Now this word dear is used internationally as a formal salutation now. Earlier when I used to study in school, at that time formal salutation was respected sir or respected madam, but that has been, taken away. That place has been taken away by the word dear now. So dear Mr. So and so for formal emails, And for informal emails, you can make use of hi or the name of the person for informal. Then the fourth point that is also important is the body of your message. We have so far discussed that the message or the main body of your email has to be brief, concise, and clear. And finally, the signature. Signature means your name, which has to come at the end of the email. Clear? Right. Now, have a look at this sample. As you can see, the 5 points that we have talked about. To, that means the person to whom you are sending, right? It has to be a proper email address, right? From, this is for your understanding because this is not the email format. Then the subject comes there, right? In subject, you can clearly see that what the email is all about. Then the main body. In main body, first is the salutation, as you can see, dear. So dear is the salutation which can be used both for formal and informal emails, right? So the mail says, hello Lofa, how are you? It has been a while since we last spoke. I decided to send you an email instead of calling you on your busy schedule. How is your family, especially on your recent flood incident? I hope you and your family are in a good shape. I look forward to hearing from you. Now, these two lines finally indicate that what do you expect or what sort of action you expect from the receiver of the message. I look forward to hearing from you. So these kind of statements can be used as ending statements. Take care and send my warmest regards to your family. And finally, the closing. Best wishes, XXX or XYZ, right? Now, this is how we are supposed to write an informal email. This is an email to a friend, so of course it will come as informal email. Now, let us try and practice some. I hope that everybody is having a pen and paper in hand. Yes? Now, try to write an informal email. Suppose you have to write an email to your friend inviting him or her to your birthday party, right? So now we'll be doing a bit of practice. I'm sure that all of you have started writing. Please keep in mind all the points. Please start writing. Write an informal mail. But I'm talking about the current trend. That is why I said that you can write dear as in salutation. This is how even I also write my emails for formal communication. Okay, please write an email. What are the 5 points that you are going to keep in mind? To, right? I hope that everybody is clear what you have to write. You suppose you have to write an email to your friend to invite him or her for your birthday party. This is the first kind of a letter also, no, which we all used to write in our schools, right? So these are the 5 points that we have to keep in mind. Clear? To, from, subject. Now, can you all just share what will be the subject that you are going to write in your email? What will be the subject of your email if you have to invite a friend? Okay. Archita, beta, you are inviting your friend for your birthday party. What will be the subject line? Okay. Okay. Think about it. Come on, I want everybody to respond. Om, you are inviting your friend to celebrate your birthday party with you. Okay, good. Invitation, inviting for my birthday party. Okay. Invitation of birthday party. Invitation for my birthday celebration. Very good. Invitation to the birthday bash. Good, Akanksha. Invitation for a party. All right. I hope that the concept is clear. The subject has to be very, very precise and right. Now, what will be the salutation for informal email? How will you write the salutation for your friend? Yes, come on. Tell me, how will you start the email? What will you write as a salutation, students? What will be the salutation for your friend? Tell me the salutation and the signature. I'm sure that everybody will be able to write the body of the email, and it's not possible to have the entire thing here. But tell me the salutation and greetings that you will be writing. Okay, dear friend, or hi, so and so, dear so and so. Very good. Right. So hi, dear, or hello, or dear dash dash dash. You are doing. Hope you are doing well. Good, dear. Right. Right. Very good. Very good. Very good. And what will be the signature line? How are you going to end the the email? What will be the perfect ending for this? Okay. Right. Everybody has sent me a right response. Very nice. The reason I've started with the informal email is there is no protocol that has to be followed, right? But once you are sending or once you are writing a formal email, then it has to be, or it has to follow a certain criteria that we'll be discussing in the coming slides. Okay, best wishes. Come on, send me the signature line. What will you write as the end? Yes, Ashish, this is perfectly fine. The main body of the email. So I would like to invite you to my birthday party tonight. Please make some spare time to attend the party. But don't forget to write the venue and the time also. Right? Your beloved friend, looking forward to see you. Yes, perfect ending, Anirudh. Looking forward to see you. Hemant, hope you stay well. Give my regards to your parents. Very good, Kunal. This can also be a good ending statement. Your beloved. Regards, beta Archita, regards is mostly used in formal emails and not informal ones, right? You are writing an informal email to a friend, right? I hope you make it, is also fine. Yours faithfully is fine, but don't make use of this. See, it's an informal email. If you want, you can make use of it, but think about other creative ways. Best wishes. Okay, I'm waiting for you. Okay, okay. Hoping for favorable response. I hope you make it. Okay, seems to be fine with everybody, right? Let me show you a sample. I also have a sample for you all. But I thought that let me first hear your, views on this. And now you can have a look at the sample here so that accordingly you can make the changes, right? So 2 and then CC and BCC. Right. So people were asking me for this. So beta CC is carbon copy and BCC is blind carbon copy. So let's say you are writing an email to a friend and you are also sending a CC to your father, or a CC, you are keeping another friend of yours in CC, right? So let's say in CC you are writing X y at the rate gmail.com, right? So this email ID will be visible to XYZ also, right? But if you are going to write this email ID in BCC, then it will not be visible to him. Clear? So blind carbon copy. Let's say you are writing an email to your colleague and you want your senior to be aware of the same without your colleague having an idea about it. Okay, so then you will keep your senior's email in BCC, right? Otherwise, in formal email writing, whenever, let's say you are working on a project with two other colleagues and your team head is also there. So whenever you are doing any communication with your peers or with your team members, you will keep your team head in CC. Am I clear on this? So there is an important role which these two tabs, CC and BCC, play in formal English, in formal, communication. Clear? Is it clear to everybody now? Yes, Om, this is also fine. Shraddha, I hope I'm clear with this. BCC is blind carbon copy and CC is carbon copy. So just like a carbon copy is created, so that the same purpose is being done by the emails as well. Om, you are not able to understand? Okay. Let's say I am giving you all a project. Okay. Now listen to me. Let's say I'm giving you all a project, and I have made a group of 5 students: Om, Shraddha, and Shrikant, okay, and Sushma and Archita. Okay. Now I just give a call to Om and tells him and I'm going to tell him the details of the project, and then I ask Om to communicate it to all the other 4 team members, right? So when Om is going to communicate the same to other team members like Shraddha and Shrikant and everybody, so Om is going to write my email ID also in CC. The reason being, I should also get to know when is Om communicating with them. And whenever, let's say, Shrikant or Shraddha or Sushma or Archita, they are communicating with Om, they also keep me in CC so that I will get an idea about what kind of discussions are these people doing. Clear? So when you want the other person to have information or cognizance about the entire communication process that is happening, we keep them in CC. Yes, Sadaf, we can include more than one email IDs. Let's say you want to keep me in CC, also quantum learning in CC, and mentor buddy in CC, or your college placement in charge in CC, right? So you can keep 2 or 3 email IDs in CC also, right? Now, suppose, Shrikant wants to say informally that, see, Om, I'm not available today and I won't be able to work on this. Please, yeah, take care of my work. So Shrikant will definitely not want me to have a look at this, isn't it? So what will Shrikant do? Shrikant will personally send an email to Om, right? Now Om wants to say that no, this is not possible and you have to work on this, otherwise ma'am will get angry, right? So what Om can do, Om can write an email to Shrikant and keep me in BCC so that Shrikant will not get an idea that ma'am is going to know about the entire communication that is happening. Clear, Bachu? So I hope that by this example, the concept of CC and BCC is clear. Kawana, there is the tab in CC. No, that's perfectly fine, Om. It's my responsibility to make the concept clear, and I'm sure a lot of you were facing the problem. You are the one who raised the voice. Is the concept of CC and BCC clear to everybody? Send me number 1 if it is clear. Send me number 1, everybody. No, beta, that's not the case. No reply email is not generally. Yes, in BCC, if you're going to write somebody's email, that will not be visible. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for confirming. Right, so let's proceed. So this is, the main body of the mail. Now let me show you another example. Now let's have a look at semi-formal email. Writing a letter to inform your classmates regarding intra-college quiz competition. I'll not spend much time here. Now we'll spend time on formal email writing, okay? Have a look at this. Again, to XYZ, CC and BCC. Subject is intra-college quiz competition, right? So as soon as somebody is going to read this subject, he or she will be able to understand that what is this email written for, isn't it? Now, hello everyone. This is to inform you guys, right? Because this is going to be a bulk sort of a mail. You want to inform the entire class for the intra college quiz competition, right? So how we are going to write it? Hello everyone, this is to inform you guys that now this is a semi-formal email, right? So that is why words like guys are used here. If it's going to be a formal email, this is not acceptable. Okay. Now this is to inform you guys that an intra-college quiz competition is going to be held in our college on November 25 from 11:30 a.m. in hall number 1. Everyone is therefore asked to take part in the competition so that our department can win. For further queries, feel free to contact me. Thanks, right? Dash, 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 Tom, Dick, Harry, class representative. Clear? Is this clear? This is, what kind of email is this? This is an information email, right? And it can also be termed as no reply email. What is the action step that you have to do? You have to participate in the quiz competition, right? You can contact the undersigned or the person here, right, for any kind of details. Now let's practice a formal email. So how somebody is going to write a resignation letter? Why I have thought to include resignation letter? Because this is one of the most difficult formal email writing. How do you write a resignation letter? You might be wondering, ma'am, we don't have even a job, and you're asking us to write a resignation letter, isn't it? I'll show you what. Right. So thanks can also be written, Amrita. So whenever I write a formal email, I always write thanks and regards. Right here also you can see in the formal email. Right, so this is how we write it. To, then CC, BCC, subject, right? The subject, as you can see here, resignation letter. Just look at the tone of the person who's written. Dear sir or madam, please accept this mail as a notice that I am leaving my position with this organization. As per the norms of the company, I have to give a month notice before resigning. I hope you will get a good replacement for me within this time period. I really appreciate the opportunities that I have been given to me. This is not required. That has been given to me. I'm so sorry. I copied it from somewhere. That has been given to me to help me grow. Wish you and the company the best in the future. Please let me know what to expect as far as my final work schedule and the employee benefits. Please let me know in case of any assistance for the above. Thanks and regards, ABC. Right? So there might be changes here in the body of the message. This is up to you, however you want to write. But ideally, you should always show the gratitude and the thankfulness that you got an opportunity to serve the organization and how you are going to proceed with the same. Right? I hope that it is clear to everybody. Now, I have a question for all of you, which I want everybody should answer. What does the opening part of the formal email contains? Whenever you are writing a formal email, the opening part of that email contains what? Is it inquiry about the weather in the city, or the health condition of the recipient? Or in the start of the mail, you are going to inform the recipient about the reason for writing the mail. What do you think is the correct answer? Yes, students, I'm looking for your responses. Okay, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Why will you inquire about the weather in the city, Shweta? What is your objective behind inquiring? The health condition of the recipient. Remember, I told you that the very first thing that we are going to write in our email is to inform the person What is the reason behind writing the mail? Right. So the correct answer for this question is inform the recipient about the reason that why you are writing this email. Clear? Let's have a look at the next question. In an informal letter, what are you going to do? You should ignore grammar. You should ignore punctuation, or you should write clear and readable in simple English, or none of the above. Yes. So in informal letter, how are you going to write? Come on. Okay. Yes, I'm looking for the responses quickly. Okay, so unanimously now this time everybody is saying option C, option C, option C, option C. Yes, very good. The correct answer is option C. You should write clear and the email should be readable in simple English. You are not going to write anything which the person is not able to comprehend clearly. Right? Now let us quickly revise whatever we have discussed so far, and I'm sure that now things would be much clearer. So take this as a quick revision. We have discussed from and to. So from is the name of the person or is the email of the person who's sending the mail. To is the name of the recipient or the email ID of the person to whom you are sending the email. CC, which is causing a lot of trouble to a lot of you. CC stands for carbon copy. It is that portion of the mail that is used to send the same mail to other individuals. The email IDs of other individuals are visible to all. Suppose you want to hide that with whom you are sharing this information, then you will not write those emails here, right? Then you will write those emails in BCC, the blank carbon copy. It is that portion of the mail which is used to send the same mail to other individuals without showing their IDs, right? Many a times it happens that you are sending mails to a lot of people, right? And you don't want them to get an idea of the other person's email. Then also you can type their email IDs in BCC. There is no limit to the same that you should write only one or two email IDs in CC and BCC. So that is not a problem. Then we have talked about the subject of the email. The subject shows the title. It clearly expresses the idea or the reason for email writing. It should be clear, simple and short. Then you are going to write greeting or salutation. So mail writing always starts by greeting the recipient. Basic greetings are dear, respected, hello, hi. We have just now seen this when we were doing formal, semi-formal and informal email writing. Right? I hope this is clear to everybody. Now let us also try to understand the other aspects. That is, first of all, the main body. So the main body of the email is the main content. So it is very important for you to write it in clear and simple, understandable or comprehensible format. The first paragraph that you are going to write in email, it must state the main idea or the reason behind why you are writing that email, right? And then the paragraphs that will succeed after the first paragraph will talk about other details for mail writing. So basically the main body of the email consists of three things. First is introduction, why you are writing that email. Then you are going to talk about the matter in detail, and then finally you are going to conclude it with a call for action, or what is the step that you are looking for, that the person should do. That is called as main body of the email, and these are the points that you are going to keep in mind. Clear? Then finally, the closing of the email. So the closing also shows the conclusion of the mail writing. It basically shows the suggestions or the need of action, right? What sort of step or what sort of response are you expecting from the reader of the email? Always end your email by courteous words like thanking you, warm regards, look forward, looking forward to hearing from you from your side, etc., etc. Right? So if you're writing a formal email, these are the suggested closures. In informal emails, these are the suggested closures. I'm not showing that these are the only things, but I'm definitely saying that these are some of the ideas that you can use. Right? Regards, sincerely, many thanks, best wishes. In informal, thanks, cheers, later, see you later, talk soon, take care. Right? All these things can be used as closings. Then we have also talked about interesting and important thing is attachments. So don't forget to mention in the body of the email that what are you attaching, as a as a document, or which document are you sending as an attachment, so that the person also gets the idea. Sometimes you will find that the person has not even opened the attachment, right, and is asking you for the details. So you should mention about the details of the attachment in the main body of the email only. Sorry. Then signature line. Signature line includes the signature, name, and designation of the sender. It can also include other details like contact number, address. Depends on you, right? So if you are using a formal email account, so what we generally do is we create our signature. So every email that we are sending automatically will be having our signature there. In signature, you can write your name, then your email ID. Sorry, first your name, then your designation, then the name of the organization, and finally your contact number. Clear? Is this much clear to everybody now? So we have completed the different parts of email writing. So if this much is clear to everybody, send me number 3 if this is clear to everybody. Send me number 3 if it is clear. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So I hope that now we are learned people and now we have the complete idea about email writing and we won't be facing any issues, isn't it, Bacho? Now you will not be needing anybody to support you in writing your email. So let's quickly do, some problem questions to check our understanding. So the question asks that the signature in mail writing must capture all necessary contact details. Does the signature in email writing must capture all necessary contact details? Option A, sometimes. Option B, no. Option C, yes. It makes it easier for the recipient to reach out to you. And option D, it is not important. What do you think? What do you think is the correct answer? Come on, I need everybody to respond to this. Come on, quickly, quickly, quickly. Okay. Yes, sometimes it is not required in informal emails. So even if you're writing an informal email, please do share your contact number, right? The person might not be having it. But as far as formal email writing is concerned, it should always, always have that, right? So even if you're writing an informal email, if you're going to mention your contact number, don't you think that it makes it easier for the recipient to reach out to you, right? So that is the only purpose of sharing the contact details in the signature. Now, another important thing, what should be the font that you are going to make use of in writing emails? What font are you going to make use of in writing mails? Bold and all capital alphabets, colorful and fancy, bright colors, easy to read, black in color, easy to read, capital alphabets only where required. So whenever you are writing emails, what kind of font and colors you are going to make use of? Come on, quickly. Okay, very good, very good, very good, very nice, amazing. Right? So all of you have given a right response. Yes, in emails, we are going to write in black color. Statement should be easy to read. Font size should be good enough that the person reading the mail is not going to make use of the magnifying glass to read the content, or should not seem as if you are being too loud and shouting. So a bigger font size basically indicates that you are shouting, right? And you are going to make use of capital alphabets only where required. If you want to highlight something in your email, you can just, you know, you can underline that much part, or you can write in bolds to make it look different or make it look, unique from the body of the email. Right? I'm glad that you people have understood what we are sharing. This is just to give you an idea about a sample of an email. Right. So this is just a sample, as you can see. From is sender's email ID, to is recipient's email ID, CC other individuals receiving the same mail with visible IDs, BCC other individuals receiving the same mail with invisible IDs, subject, title or the reason of writing email, salutation, words like dear, respected, hi. Main body is the main content of the email, where you will write introduction, you will write matter in detail, and then you will write conclusion. Then you are going to close with the ending statement. Attachment, where you are going to write, include files. And then finally the signature line, where you will write the sender's name, signature and other details of contact. Right? Let me also show you another interesting sample. Right. Now this particular image, or this sample, I just want to show you all because I know that this is of ultimate help, right? So this is basically an email cover letter. Whenever you will be applying for any job, or when you will be sending a resume, you are also going to send an email along with it, isn't it? Along with your resume, you will also send a cover letter in the email. How you are going to write it? Let us first have a look at the 7 steps which are mentioned here. So the first is the strong subject line. For example, here you can see senior software engineer seeks software development team lead position with XYZ. Now, this subject line is clearly indicating that what is the main body of the email all about. Then you will write personal greetings here. As you can see, it's written, Dear Alice. Can you see this? Right? So you're going to write this. Suppose you are not aware of the name of the person, you can write dear sir or madam, or dear HR manager, right? Then you are going to write to the point first sentence, that why are you writing this email? Please find attached a copy of my resume with detailed work experience for the software development team lead position at XYZ Corp. Job ID is also mentioned here. Right. Now, the moment the person is going to read the first 2 lines of the email, he or she will get the idea about what, get the idea that what the email is all about, isn't it? So this is called as to the point first sentence. Then you are going to write the relevant main paragraph. As a senior software engineer at such and such company, I have worked like this. I have proven record of developing and optimizing the most strategic mobile apps and blah blah blah. Right? So you are going to write the relevant paragraph that why are you an eligible candidate or the most promising candidate for such a profile. Then you will end with a clear call to action. Can we schedule a meeting to discuss my insights and ideas on making XYZ software development quicker and more effective while boosting all major KPIs? Right. So what is the call for action here? The person is looking forward to have a meeting, right? And then a formal sign off. Here the formal sign off that is used is sincerely, right? And here you can see the attachment, right? Now you could have also mentioned about the attachment, although it is very, very clear, right? So here the person has also said that please find attached a copy of my resume. So the person who's reading the email got the idea that what this attachment is all about. Clear? So this is an email cover letter example. This is important, students. So I hope it is clear to everybody. Is it clear? Because this job is for a senior software development team lead position. Clear to everyone? Okay. Right. Any questions so far? Any questions? You can take this as a screenshot. Although this is a Google image, you can get a lot of images like this on Google also. Any questions? No. Right. So that's all for the session today. Right. I hope that this concept is clear to everybody so far, that how are we going to write a formal email? What are the things which we are going to keep in mind, right? And just to do a final brush up, or a kind of a final touch to the session, as we are going to just wind up the session for the day, let's quickly revise whatever we have discussed, that when we are writing an email, what are the things that we are going to keep in mind, what is CC, what is BCC, how are we going to write, salutations, greetings, attachments, everything, right? Let us have a quick revision.
In this video, you'll learn how to format an email, including parts of the email, what to capitalize, where to leave spaces and empty lines, and how to do the optional signature block at the end. Here's an example of an email that's formatted correctly. Let's look at the parts of this email. First, we have the subject. The subject is like a short title that tells your reader what your email is about. Then we have the salutation, where you're saying hello to your recipient. In the body of the email, you write your message. Then you have your closing, where you sort of say goodbye. Then you have your electronic signature, which is your first and last name. And then at the bottom, sometimes there is an optional signature block. You don't need a signature block, but many people use them, and you might also want to have one. Let's now talk about what to capitalize in your email. First, let's talk about what to capitalize in your subject. We capitalize subjects like we capitalize a book title. But what do we capitalize in book titles? We capitalize the first word, the last word, and important words. How do we know if a word in a title or an email subject line is important? Nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs are important words in a title and should be capitalized. Here are some examples. People, like teacher, boy, and parent. Of course, there are many, many hundreds of other words that could be people. Places, 3 examples are school, city, and library. Things, like book, homework, idea. Actions, like run, ask, need, or help. Adjectives like sick, easy, great, and adverbs like not, very, and always. What about words that are not important and should not be capitalized? These include articles, conjunctions, or prepositions that are 3 letters or shorter, like these: and, but, by, for, or, in, if, out, of, off, so on, and the. These are examples that are used often, but of course there are many other words that are not important in titles and should not be capitalized. Now we've talked about what to capitalize in the subject. What about the salutation? In a salutation, capitalize the first word plus all nouns. Let's look at some other examples of email salutations. Here we have Dear Hiring Manager, Dear Professor Smith, Dear Board of Directors, Dear Mom and Dad, and Dear Sophia. There are 2 types of email salutations. The first 3 examples that we see here are formal salutations. And At the end of a formal salutation, the punctuation you use is called a colon, or the two dots that you see used at the end of our first three examples. You need to use a formal email salutation when you're writing emails with job applications, emails to leaders in your company, school, or community, and emails to other people in higher positions. The other type of email salutation is an informal salutation, like the last two that you see here. At the end of an informal salutation, the punctuation you use is a comma. Informal salutations are used when you write to friends and family, people you see daily or often, and sometimes to teachers or professors. It depends on the culture and the relationship you have with the person, just as any email salutation does. So we've covered what to capitalize in the email subject and salutation. Now let's talk about the closing. In the closing, you capitalize only the first word. The second word in a closing should not be capitalized. Here's some examples of other email closings that are formal, professional, and will work in almost any situation. Best regards, sincerely, thank you, best, yours truly, and respectfully. Now we've reviewed capitalization, let's look at where we need to leave empty lines and spaces in your emails. First, leave an empty line after your salutation. Always leave empty lines between paragraphs. Leave one empty line before your closing and one empty line after your closing. Notice, you do not need an empty line or a comma after your electronic signature. Now let's talk about the optional signature block. Signature block contains contact information about the sender as well as information like the sender's website, YouTube channel, or other professional contact information. Here's example 1, the name, email, website, and YouTube channel. Here's example 2. You have the person's name, phone number, position or job. Notice after the job, you have the company, and between those two, a comma. Finally, after that, you have his mailing address at the bottom. Here we have example 3 that's very similar to example 2, except that the company name and the job or position appear on 2 different lines, so we don't need to separate them with a comma. Here we have example 4, a signature block of a university student, where you have the person's name, phone number, position, which is student, and his university. So now we've concluded our video on how to format an email. I hope that this video helped you. Thanks a lot for watching.
Right. So I hope that this was clear to everybody now. Right. So this video acted as a quick revision for whatever we have discussed so far in the class. And I'm sure that all of us are clear about what are we going to write in our emails. So this brings us to the end of the class. I hope that you all enjoyed the session. Right. So if you want to connect with me or you have any questions, I'm looking forward to your feedbacks and suggestions also. You can write to me on feedback@mentorpedi@gmail.com. Right, this is my email ID, so you can connect with me on this. Right, for any technical issues, you can write on support@mentorpedi.com. Tag us on LinkedIn at Quantum Learnings. These are the names of our websites. You can book or you can register yourself for the upcoming sessions on communication skills and verbal ability, along with a lot of other sessions that are coming up through these websites. Thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoyed the class. Right, looking forward to your feedback, suggestions, and comments. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have any questions, I'm available for next 2 minutes. I'll take up the questions. Beta, Gmail is Google email ID, the account that you'll create, and email is electronic mail or electronic communication that we use. Clear? So Gmail is also an email, medium. Yes, Om, I hope that I'm able to clarify myself. Yes, Hemant, you can make use of dear to principal also. I know the image was not very clear, but both the images were quite important. So, but I have read out the entire point. So I hope that I was able to put it across. Thank you so much, Shadav. I try to keep my sessions interactive, although we cannot make use of audio, but I try to make it as interactive as I can through the chat box. Om, I think I have explained your question now. Okay. Okay. All right, so as an assignment, you can write a covering email for your resume and share it with me on feedback.mentorbuddy@gmail.com. I will evaluate them, check it, and will share it with you. Next class, we are also going to have on email writing, where we will discuss the do's and don'ts of email writing. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Om. I think I've clarified all your points, right? All your questions. Any other questions? Okay, beta, sure. I will surely read out the question, right? Although I try to, but if I've missed any question, I will surely read it out. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Help your mom in kitchen and household work today and enjoy your Sunday with your family. Thank you so much. See you all coming Friday for verbal ability and next Sunday for communication skills, right? Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.